Hey guys, we have another special Mopar for you here today. This is a 1971 Dodge Dart Swinger. Awesome motor in this thing, guys. 386 horsepower is what it was dynoed at. It's a stroked engine, 360 stroked. You know what they're calling that 360 stroker, Dalton?
I don't.
408, I think, if I remember right. Anyway, I listed it on the website, so check that out, coyoteclassics.com. But this is a super sweet car with a really cool story. The previous owner of this car, this was his high school car back in 1985. So he drove this car in high school, sold it 3-4 years after that, ended up buying it back 15 years ago and did a complete rotisserie restoration on it. Just a fantastic 71 Dart, one of the nicer ones out there for sale, Dalton.
And that's also when he did the motor. And this guy's kind of an avid classic car collector. So, I mean, this one was kind of sat in his collection. He didn't put a whole lot of miles on it since the restoration.
It was done with a lot of love, though. I mean, this was his, like I said, his high school car, and he did it to keep. The reason for selling is it still had the same gas in it from like 2 or 3 years ago. He just didn't put many miles on it the last few years and thought it was time to sell it and then to move on to something else. But very, very nicely restored car, guys. You won't be disappointed in this little Mopar.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely beautiful. Look under the hood. A lot of times with that big horsepower, you don't have air conditioning. This one's got air.
Under the hood says it all, doesn't it? The quality of the restoration around the edges on this car just tells the tale.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, just beautiful.
Air conditioning works. We just went ahead and went through it. Belts are all in good shape. I mean, just look at the quality of the engine paint, all the pulleys. Does have the factory fender tag as well.
One thing I really like about these Mopars is like all the paint, I mean, under the hood, they painted all the inner fenders, painted the firewall from the factory. I mean, they just really look a lot more
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do.
Look at the K-member. You can tell the K-member was all out here, all blasted and painted as well. You can go under our website, coyoteclassics.com, guys. You can see all the undercarriage photos. A very solid car. As far as the headers, it's got headers on it, nice dual exhaust. Again, 408 stroke motor, 386 horsepower. Dalton will fire it up, but again, it's a cold start. Power steering, power brakes. It does have the ram air hood scoops as well. And again, beautiful job of the paint and all the correct rubbers, and just the detail on this restoration is fantastic.
And like you pointed out, I'm sure, I mean, highly optioned. Power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning.
I don't know if you've just recently watched our inventory, but we acquired a 1970 Satellite, basically the same color, from the same customer, and both of them were repainted by the same guy and just did a fantastic job. The paint jobs on these cars are phenomenal. As far as our front bumper goes, the bumper has all been re-chromed. The paint on the front valance is in excellent shape. As far as the hood goes, that's fantastic as well. I just love these little scoops on the darts. They're such a light car. I can't wait to drive this car. 386 horsepower on this freaking small car.
Yeah, they're a lightweight car to begin with.
Top of the door, top of the fender, top of the hood, all lines up really nicely with the cowl. The windshield has been replaced during restoration. The rubbers around the windshield have been replaced. The vinyl top is new. Absolutely no bubbles. I mean, that's the first thing we look at in a vinyl top. I won't buy a car with bubbles in that vinyl top. This is excellent all the way throughout here, guys. Back glass is good. Side glass is nice. Now, the restorer chose just to go ahead and leave the original rally rims on here, which to each their own. I mean, it looks good this way. If you guy went ahead and put some later market rims and tires on it, it'd look nice too.
It does have a really good stance, though.
It does.
And new tires. The tires got a lot of tread on them.
A little aggressive. I think they'd go in the snow, guys. Be damn good in the snow right now. Look what they did also, that little black line. Did you see this, Doll, how they painted the bottom of that black? I never noticed that. But that's like all in a high gloss as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a very nice car.
Yeah. Again, no disappointments here, guys. As far as our fender gap is perfect. For you Mopar lovers, a little dart would just be an awesome addition to your collection. Not many nicer than this.
No, there's really not.
As far as the paint, quarters, the whole driver's side is perfect. It does have a few little micro scratches on the door handle. It's original. As we open up here, it still has the original tag all here. Corner of the doors, bottom of the doors, all professionally done as well. Door panels were replaced during restoration. Inside, metal's all been repainted. I like the choice of the wheel. It's probably about a 16-inch, 16-inch wheel. It's a nice wheel. Nice wood grain. Split bench with the armrest, which is awful nice. Door gem paint, all the rubber seals are all just as nice as the rest of the car.
Did you point out it's got a rim-blown horn?
No, I didn't know that.
It works.
Jeez.
So rarely those work.
Very, very.
So expensive.
Yeah. Especially, I see them a lot in like a 69 Mach 1, and they are very expensive. Door jamb paint, again, beautiful. Corner of the door. If I have to pick at this car at all, it's going to be just this little tiny stuff like this. This bezel right here, the wood grain is excellent on the bezel, but the little bit of silver paint just chips off over time. So there's a little bit of that going on, but 71,053 miles on the odometer, and I believe that to be original. You know what, well, when we drive the car, we'll go ahead and do the rest of the other stuff, what works and what don't. But the dash pad is excellent. The dash itself, the wood grain all looks great. Air conditioning, carpet's new. Dome light works, headliner's excellent. Visors are nice and tight. Back shelf has no wrinkles through there. Just in really nice shape, guys. Back door panel is excellent. Back seat. As far as we're looking up and down the sides, it's absolutely laser straight. No waves, no ripples. The door fits perfectly to the bottom of the quarter and top of the quarter. Dalt's gonna go ahead and fire it up for us. That sounds sweet. That sounds awesome. Just exactly how I thought it would sound. And look how door shuts. Like I said, it's a super nice car. Here's another thing, guys. Just look at the quality around the bumpers and stuff. I mean, around every little spot you see here, you can just kind of look around the quality of everything on it. The exhaust tips are super clean. This was a no-expense spared restoration. I mean, this was his high school car.
Yeah.
A collector's high school car that wanted it to be just perfect.
And everything he has is super nice. So, I mean, you can imagine what kind of
Wow.
What are you doing this?
Wow. You can't get jam paint looking any shinier than this. And the satellite was the same way. It looked like the freaking trunk floor was buffed and polished. I mean, look at that quality, guys.
Like I said, with Mopars, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can paint all the trunk and everything. So, I mean, it's very showy that way.
There's your inside, your original rim, spare, all that. Everything's just fantastic, guys. As far as our back, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the body lines on this car are fantastic too. I mean, you can look down the sides, but you can't tell where the door starts and ends. No. The trunk fits great, hood fits great. I mean, that's one thing with this car, that
bumpers are redone.
Paint, body, I mean, the whole works. Nice car.
Yeah, the car is absolutely beautiful, guys. The top of the trunk lid fits excellent here to the quarter. Around back in here where there would be usually problems, vinyl top areas. Like I said, no bubbles, no blisters. The car sells itself. I mean, obviously, we talked about before the fenders, the hood, the trunk lid, the doors. Everything was taken off, painted separately, all reinstalled. Seat belts for 3 in the front, 3 in the back. Seats are excellent, no rips or tears. All right, Dalt, let's take this thing out and drive it, huh?
10-4. All right, so we got the little swing out of the showroom. We've got good roads today, so we're excited to see what you can do.
Very excited. We're gonna go ahead and go through a few of the things we talked about a little bit, Dalton. The rim blown steering wheel well works well. Let's start
that's a tongue twister. Let's keep going.
All right. So anyway, so that works well, guys. As far as our heat goes, heat and air work perfectly. All right. We have Pyle Mfm Radio, and look at this. It's got everything for your USB on there.
Very nice.
Mode switch, everything. Antenna's all hooked up as well, so that does work. Trying to think what else we got here. As far as our wipers go,
car behind you.
2-speed wipers, and they work perfectly. Does have power steering, air power disc brakes.
Yep.
And it's cold-blooded, guys. I mean, I don't blame it. It's 9 degrees here this morning, so we're just gonna kind of take it easy a little bit, warm it up. The speedometer works perfectly, Doll. We're running here about 45, 50 mile an hour.
And I did see a receipt where he had the whole front end kind of gone through and aligned and everything. So
look at the steering. I mean, that's like a quick steering too. So one finger goes perfectly straight down the road. We're just basically getting these things. We're not going to get on them in the winter, nothing like that. We just want to give you guys a feel of how it sits, how it feels behind the wheel. So, I mean, this thing's going to haul ass, there's no doubt about it, but it's going to have to be warmed up first.
Yep. But yeah, it goes down the road, great suspension, feels good.
Perfect.
Not saying, I mean, we hate kind of taking them out in the winter. We do power wash them and clean up the undercarriage just after we're done. But 95% of our customers don't ever come to the dealership to see and drive their car. So a lot of times this is the closest thing they get to getting behind the wheel before the car gets to their driveway. So
I'm glad you pointed that out, D. We don't want to drive these things in the winter, but we damn near have to.
yeah.
So another thing is the dome light works perfectly as well, guys. The inside's immaculate, paint's immaculate. Guys, this is a car you can just jump right in and go to your car show. Now, I do have a brand new sanding unit that I ordered. It's here. We got to put in the tank so the gas gauge will work. Other than that, everything else is working fine. Alternator gauge. It's got an oil light and the temp gauge. It's got the factory temp gauge over here as well. So.
Awesome. So great car, guys. Check it out on our website, coyoteclassics.com. Give us a call.